Mother wild one, for crimes of truth and as and then some. You filled through the highs and heats. We're grateful hearts on a podcast beat. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep, we crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me.
Welcome back to Typically Unique. I'm continuing on, starting with document number 10. And these documents, I'm not sure where I'm going to stop at yet, but these documents are all the police activity the day after and what actions they were taking, who they were talking to, interviews, things like that. So we're starting with number 10. This is Jacob Tesdall, and his narrative is on November 12th, 2022 at about 2100 hours. I began an overtime shift for a plainclothes detail on the University of Idaho campus and related areas. This patrol was for minors in possession, consumption of alcohol, along with other alcohol drug offenses. During this patrol, I and the other officer with me, Officer Rosendahl, only had our body-worn cameras. We were operating out of the Moscow Police Department Ford Fusion, which I drove throughout the entire detail. This particular department vehicle did not have a dash camera or any other recording device. My street time conducting the plainclothes detail concluded at 3:52 hours on November 13th, 2022. During this detail, Officer Rosendahl and I made several patrols through the area of King Street and Queen Road. During each patrol of the area, we traveled on the north side of 500 Queen Road heading east. We wrapped around the building heading south on the east side, then west on the south side of the complex. We then traveled north on the west side, turned west onto Queen Road, and proceeded to King Street. During one of the patrols in this area, while approaching the southwest corner of 500 Queen Road, I recall seeing a darker colored vehicle with taillights on. This vehicle was parked facing south on the south side of the parking lot towards the west end. There was a short section of the parking lot which extended to the west of 500 Queen Road, south of 1122 King Street, which was where the vehicle was. Each time we patrolled this area, I drove the same route. During the final patrol, which to the best of my recollection was between 200 and 300 hours on November 13th, 2022, as we traveled north on the west side of the apartment complex, I saw several individuals approaching the residence at 1122 King Street. During this detail, I was looking for alcoholic beverages, open alcoholic containers, and individuals who appeared to be intoxicated. I observed the individuals as I drove past, but did not see any reason to contact them for our related patrol. I recall my view of the individuals being obstructed by vehicles and brush on the east side of the parking lot for 1122 King Street. The individuals were walking close a vehicle to a vehicle which was parked in the northeast corner of the lot. As I turned onto Queen Road and traveled west, I continued to view the individuals. From my recollection, there were at least two individuals, possibly three. I recall one of the individuals having blonde hair. I do not recall exactly how many individuals there were, what they were wearing, or any other details as I quickly looked for beverages in their hands and whether they were staggering from intoxication. Since we made several patrols through the area, I cannot say with 100% confidence I saw the vehicle on the same pass as I saw the individuals. Upon review of my radio history, I contacted 3 individuals at blank Taylor Avenue at about 2:55 hours, 2:55 hours. To the best of my recollection, this was after exiting King Street after seeing the individuals at 1122 King Street. We cleared this contact at 0332 hours. I certify or declare under penalty. So he says it's true. And Jacob Tisdale Gunderson is the one who reviewed it. It is so hard for me not to make comments right now. And I told Carlos I wouldn't, though. All right. This is number 11. And this is David Hathaway. His narrative. On November 14th, 22, at about 22:42 hours, dispatch advised they were forwarding a call to my cell phone. My phone briefly started to ring, but then it suddenly stopped. For some reason, the call was forwarded to voicemail before I could answer. When the voicemail came through to my phone, I learned it was from JS. The voicemail said, "Hey, how's it going? My name is JS. My phone number is blank. I just wanted to make a statement to you guys because I was close friends with Maddie Mogan. I was with her at the corner club most of the night. And then after we left, we wanted to go to John's Alley and we stopped at Grub Truck. They got Grub Truck. Then a car picked them up and they left and went home. I just wanted to make a statement about unintelligible. I don't know if anything is helpful, but I was just with them like for a little bit. So if I can be any help, I would like to. Give me a call. Thank you." Shortly after I got the voicemail, S called dispatch again and was successfully transferred to my phone. At about 22:46 hours, I talked to S on the phone. S essentially said the same thing he said in the voicemail he left. S said he was out with Maddie at the corner club until about 2:30 hours, said several times he did not know who the other girl was that was with them that night. S described the girls getting into a silver sedan after they got food at the Grub Truck. I confirmed S's name, date of birth, address, and phone number. I also confirmed with S he drove to his parents' house at blank in Boise. I asked S how long he planned to be at his parents' house, and he said he was skipping the next week of classes and would remain in Boise until after Thanksgiving break. S said he was willing to talk to a detective about his involvement with this case. S said he does not have a roommate at his Queen Road apartment and that he lives alone. I recorded our conversation with my dash camera and BWC. The videos were uploaded to the WatchGuard server. I attached the audio file of the voicemail S left me to this case through Spillman. So Spillman's one of the other officers, and this was reviewed by Gunderson. All right, 12 is Gunderson. All right. His narrative. On November 14th, 22, I responded to the area of King Road and Queen Road. I photographed and looked in the 3 dumpsters in the area outside blank King Road, 1122 King Road, and blank King Road. All 3 dumpsters were located on the street. I saw nothing of evidentiary value in the dumpsters. I photographed them and cleared this area. ISP later pulled the trash pursuant to this investigation. Some blood was located on the second floor at blank Taylor Avenue. Blank Taylor Avenue is commonly referred to as the Whites and is a known party location. The blood was isolated to one area with no trail to either area. I photographed the blood and notified on-scene investigators. Officer House and I walked various areas around the crime scene looking for evidence. Officer House and I found nothing of evidentiary value. And this was reviewed by Snyder. Biting my tongue over here. All right. This is report 13. Roger Lanier. Okay, now this is November 15th. His narrative says, and on November 15th, 2022 at 9:30 hours, myself and Detective Mowry responded to the Corner Club at blank to contact the owner, MT. This was a prearranged meeting to view video from the evening of November 12th to the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. The purpose was to confirm that Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves were at the Corner Club, as had been reported, and to try and identify individuals seen on the grub truck video later in the morning, specifically a male who appeared to be accompanying them. Upon arrival, T already had the video up on the screen and cued to the proper time frame. Detective Mowry began scrolling through the video, which consisted of multiple views and multiple screens that were all in time sync. We determined that Gonsalves and Mogan arrived at the Corner Club at 22:20 hours in a Prius type vehicle with one other unidentified female. The vehicle was determined to be an Uber vehicle and the driver identified. Gonsalves and Mogan mingle around the bar, but spend most of their time in the front along the bar next to the left end as you face the bar. They make occasional trips to the restroom and speak to several people as they mingle. So this is 22 minutes after midnight. Kaylee paid her bar tab using her credit card, which consisted of 9 well vodka and 2 add juice. T provided a copy of the receipt. At approximately 100 hours, Kaylee engages in a conversation with a subject identified by bar staff as J. J in quotation marks S. S was seen with Gonsalves and Mogan in the grub truck video later in the evening. This appeared to be a consensual conversation, and it appeared they knew each other. At approximately 1:14 hours, Mogan joins in the conversation, and all three remain generally in the area of the bar near the wall. Nothing stood out during that time, and both appeared to know S. At 1:31 hours, S paid his bar tab with his credit card consisting of 5-can bottle and 2 kamikaze. After paying, he walked to the back of the bar, went into the restroom, came back out, retrieved his coat, and came back to an area near the exit where Gonsalves and Mogan were waiting. S waited in the background while the girls finished conversing with others. Then they all exited the building at 1:37 hours. The parking lot camera shows them walking away together across, then out the parking lot in a westerly direction. They were all dressed the same in the grub truck video, with S wearing a white or very light colored hoodie with a brown coat over it. While reviewing the video, we also recognized JD, who was reported to be Gonsalves's ex-boyfriend. We did not track his movements in the video, but he appeared to spend most of his time at the opposite end of the business, seated with several other males. At one point, there appeared to be a brief interaction with Gonsalves that looked cordial and in passing. D left at 1:51 hours with 2 other males. Also noticed in the video was a subject seen in the grub truck video. I recognized him because of his unique sweater and long hair and beard. He was identified as HV by bar staff. He checked out at midnight using a credit card in the name of SV, showing 2 micro tub. I didn't notice any interaction between V and Gonsalves or Mogan. A third subject who was seen in the grub truck video was also observed in the Corner Club, but we were not able to identify him. He is a stocky build white male with brown hair and facial hair wearing a brownish sweater. I did not observe any interaction with him and Gonsalves or Mogan. Because the video file was extremely large, Detective Mowry was unable to copy it to an external storage device. We left the business, and Detective Mowry is working on obtaining a usable copy of the video for a closer review. I have attached the bar receipts provided by T. That's the end of his report, and it was reviewed by Captain Barrett. This is Danny Vargas, number 14. And their narrative is on November 14th, 2022, I went to 1122 King Road with Sergeant Blaker to observe the scene. I walked through the house and around the outside of the residence along with other investigators looking for possible evidence. ISP investigators were on scene, walking through for a second time, looking for additional evidence. I walked around the south side of 1122 King Road, up the hill and along the fence line for blank Walenta. The backyard for blank Walenta backs up to the backyard area of 1122 King Road. I spoke with SG at blank Walenta and asked for his permission to look through his backyard area, which he said I could. G told me he was a person who previously called dispatch to provide information about what he observed. I told G, after looking over the area and through the residence on King Road, I would come back and get a statement from him. I did not locate anything of interest in the backyard of blank Walenta or on the hillside behind 1122 King Road. I walked into 1122 King Road and looked through the house with other investigators. The following 4 evidence items were collected by ISP 3431 J. Talbot inside 1122 King Road on November 14th, 2022, and turned over to me on scene. ISP took photos of the items in the places they were collected from. I booked the following items into MPD evidence. A copy of the evidence property receipt relating to these items is attached electronically to the case file. Exhibit 57, a rolled $2 bill located on the desk in F2, bedroom 1, northwest. Exhibit 58, blue powder, suspected drugs, located on the desk in F2, bedroom 1, northwest. Exhibit 59, blood sample, west wall, F2, living room. Exhibit 60, blood sample, F3, bedroom 2, northwest wall. I spoke with the following people who live at blank Walenta. My conversations with the SG, MM, and TM were recorded and are attached electronically to the case file. So those are more interviews we should be able to hear. Is that Matt Moy? SG told me the following. He woke up a couple of times Saturday night. He looked at the clock, saw it was 4:17 hours, and said after about 5 minutes of waking up, he heard a dog barking outside from the direction of 1122 King Road. G said he was going in and out of sleep, and after an hour, around 5 o'clock, he still heard the dog barking outside from the direction of 1122 King Road. G said his bedroom is on the far northeast side of blank Walenta and is closest to the backyard of 1122 King Road. G said there is a motion light outside of his window and said if it turned on, he would have noticed it. G told me he has lived in this residence since January and has not heard the dog barking outside before in the middle of the night. I next spoke with MM. M told me on the 13th he woke up around 2:30 hours and left the house around 300 hours. M said he had an blank extended training day and it lasted about 12 hours. M said he finished his extended training day around 1800 hours. at Buffalo Wild Wings and arrived home around 1830 hours. M said he was with approximately 20 blank members and did not notice anyone who should have been there was not there. M did not remember hearing anything in particular when he woke up or left around 2:30 and 300 hours. M did not hear the dog barking. I next spoke with TM. T told me he did not hear a dog barking at any point. T said he had been out at the bars the evening of the 12th and got home around 2:30 hours. T said he sleeps with earplugs in. T said his sister M mentioned she saw Madison Mogan at some point at the corner club. T provided me with his sister's phone number. And Lawrence is the one who reviewed it. Okay, this is report 15. This is Aaron Morris. On November 15th, 22, LS and OF came to the Moscow PD substation to speak with Officer Rosinski and I regarding an incident possibly related to the homicide that occurred on November 13th, 22. They stated on October 21st, 22, an unidentified white male came into the Women's Center and asked to speak to someone. F spoke to the male. She stated he asked for snacks and appeared to be under the influence. She stated the interaction only lasted about 5 minutes. F stated the male said he had a female friend who was in an abusive relationship. The male stated he was afraid the female would be hurt by her boyfriend and was also afraid he would hurt the boyfriend due to the abusive behavior. F did not gather any names and had never seen the male before. I asked F and S if they had any contacts with any of the victims. They said they did not, and they did not have any of their contacts documented. On November 15th, 22, at approximately 11:50 hours, AA came into the substation to speak to me. I was told by Corporal Payne, A went to Gritman on November 13th, 22 to seek medical care for cuts on his hand. I asked A what happened to his hand. He stated on November 12th, 22 at around 20 hours. He cut his hand attempting to cut chicken for a sandwich. A stated he was intoxicated, and when he was trying to cut the meat, his pocket knife slipped and cut his hand. Okay, I just have to say, we're cutting chicken with a pocket knife. I asked when he went to the hospital. He read his wristband from the hospital and he said he went in on November 13th at 1400 hours. He still had it on 2 days later. Oh my, I'm sorry, I can't. A told me he lived at the blank house. The laceration was on his right hand. He sent me a photograph of the injury and I attached it to the case. I asked Blank if he knew any of the victims. He stated he had seen Ethan 2 times at parties, but did not know any of the females. He said the blank sister house was blank. He said it was a national standard, but he had friends from multiple sororities. Blank ran me through his weekend from Saturday morning. He stated he slept in Saturday morning, November 12th, 22, and woke up around 9:30 hours. A said he went to the treehouse, which was a blank outhouse located at Taylor Avenue. It must be like a fraternity outhouse located at Taylor Avenue. He said he spent the whole day there watching the game. He said he left the treehouse at around 19:30 hours and went back to the blank Elm Street. He said he was drinking all night and finally went to bed on November 13th, 22 at around 400 hours. A said he was with his friends, LM and OK, all night. A provided me M's phone number. Officer Rosinski talked to M later at the blank house. Treehouse? I don't know. M said he and A were walking downstairs at the blank house when A missed a step and fell into the window. M said at the time, neither he or A saw any blood. M said A was cutting chicken and he saw the injury. According to M, A was extremely intoxicated and thought he cut his hand while cutting the chicken, but M believed he cut it on the glass. So it's the same person, either chicken or glass window. A said he was willing to sign a consent form for medical records if we needed them. A said he could not remember if he cut his hand on the window or with the knife. A said his friends told him to go to the hospital to make sure there was not glass in his hand. I went with A to the blank house. He showed me the window they found broken. I photographed the window and attached it to the case. On November 16th, 22, I responded to blank at blank Main Street. A person of interest, JS, lived at blank. L confirmed S lived at the unit alone. They said they did offer free internet service to tenants through CC. L said they could not see wait a minute. L said they could not see who used the service. I asked L if any of their tenants tried to get out of their leases recently. They said no. They said S started his lease on July 18th, 22. The employee remembered S because his father was adamant on getting him the apartment. I responded to CC to see if S utilized the internet service they provided. The employee gave me a paper with all tenants from blank Queen Road that used it. S did not use the service. On November 16, 22, I was asked to follow up on individuals connected to victims or people of interest. The names provided were MB, DB, NF, JF, and I cannot read the OB, CB. I called the Dean of Students office for phone numbers for B, E, and F. I called B first, who stated he was at his home in Boise. B and F stated they lived together in Meridian. I passed the information on to Captain Barrett. I also TLO'd F and B. I got a number for F and called him. He provided his home address in Boise and said he was willing to speak with detectives. I forwarded that information as well as a TLO of B to Corporal Payne and Captain Barrett. On November 16th, 22, DS and JH from the DOS office came to the I sub. S stated he had information regarding the homicide. S first stated the DOS office had a debrief to check in on everyone. S said JD name was brought up. He said it got him thinking because D had a recent care report in on him. On November 3rd, 22, D emailed the DOS saying, had a few different circumstances in my life that have substantially decreased my mental health. On November 4th, 22, S called D. S said D seemed distant, distracted, and sad. S also brought up the grub truck video. He said he was guessing, but he believed it was D following the victims and hovering around them. S also said after finding out what had happened, D was more concerned with his dog. I thanked S for the information. I asked H if he was able to provide the care reports for D they referenced. H said they did not seem hugely concerning, but would attempt to gather them. So that's the end of that report. And Sergeant Sieverding is the one that reviewed that. I'm going to stop there, and I will see you back here
Thanks for
for more
watching, hope you
documents.
felt the spark.
Bye.
Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony.